Hello, this is Mr. Daniels. We're reading the closure of Chapter 2 of My Louisiana Sky now. We're through at the church scene. This is now the baseball scene. And the interesting part about this is if you live in today's culture, it is very common for girls to play sports. They play soccer, softball, volleyball, you name it, they're out there playing it. And it's normal. Guys, this is not true for the 1950s. 1950s, especially in the South, women were not supposed to play sports. They weren't supposed to get dirty. They were supposed to be the ones watching the boys on the sidelines. So for Tiger to go out and do this in the baseball game and to play with the boys, that was very, very uncommon. And you're going to see some peer pressure that she feels from the girls that are watching. And definitely get the boys' perspective as well. Tiger's kind of caught between both worlds here of wanting to be herself, wanting to be a baseball player, and then also that thought of kind of wanting to be a girly girl on the sidelines. Anyways, let's go ahead and continue and read the closure of Chapter 2 from My Louisiana Sky. On the end of the table lay the main dishes: squirrel gumbo, roast, ham, fried catfish, bowls filled with baked sweet potatoes, string beans, and black-eyed peas squeezed to the center of the table. Desserts were at the end: buttermilk pie, blackberry pie, lemon cake, and fig cake. I ate so much, my side felt like it might split right open. When I'd taken my last bite of Granny's buttermilk pie, Jessie Wade came by and asked if I wanted to play some baseball. "Take your Sunday shoes off first," Granny said. "Yep," said Mama. "Take them shoes off." She was already barefooted, sitting on our quilt with her legs stretched out in front of her. Suddenly, 6-year-old Jack Savoy ran by and pulled Mama's hair. She sprang up and raced after him. "I'm gonna get you," she called out. 2 other little boys chased her. Under a gray sky, I played baseball with Jessie Wade and the boys, but I couldn't help but watch Abby Lynn and the other girls, Dolly and Annette and Jackie, sitting on the sidelines. Their full skirts split out like blankets and opened up like umbrellas. Abby Lynn's charcoal gray felt skirt had a black piece of fabric shaped like a record on the front. I wondered why they didn't want to play ball. The other girls in school played softball team, and I was looking forward to trying out next year. Maybe Abby Lynn didn't want to mess up her Sunday clothes and comb hair. I wanted to sit with those girls and be a part of their secret world. I wanted to know why they laughed when nothing seemed particularly funny, and how to bat my eyelashes like Abby Lynn. When I fluttered mine, someone always asked if I had something in my eye. Bobby Dean raked a comb through his slick-back hair, spat in the ground, and pitched me his hardball. I smacked it head on, took off for first, second, then third base, not stopping until my feet touched home plate. "Atta-way!" hollered Jessie Wade. Behind home plate, I glanced at the girls. They were clearly unimpressed, staring at me with blank faces. Then I did something I thought I'd never do. Right there, in the middle of the game, I quit playing. If I was ever going to be friends with Abby Lynn and the other girls, I had to start not playing dumb games with the boys. "Now where are you going, Tiger Ann?" Jessie Wade asked as I walked away from home plate. He slipped off his catcher's mitt. "Is something wrong?" "No, I just don't feel like playing anymore." "Huh?" "Oh, let her go," Bobby Dean yelled, probably relieved he now had a chance to win the game. "Come on, Tiger," begged some of the boys on my team. It wasn't fair to them, but I kept walking, wondering what the girls would think of me now. I walked by them real slow to give them a chance to ask me to come over and sit with them. I smiled at Abby Lynn, but she looked down and frowned at my dirty bare feet. My stomach fell straight through the ground. I walked back to our quilt where Miss Eula was talking to Granny. It was hard to say which one excuse me. It was hard to say which was more poignant on Miss Eula, her nose, or her chin. Today she reminded me of a sharpened #2 pencil with her yellow dress and skinny ankles leading to black shoes. A heavier woman would surely have broken those ankles just by walking. "You see, Jewel," Miss Eula said, "I'm not nosy, but people tell me things, and what am I supposed to say? Tell them to shut up? So anyway, Miss Smith was telling me about her up and leaving." Granny listened with eyebrows raised, one corner of her mouth turned down. "Hi, Tiger," Miss Eula said, and she turned back to Granny. "Well, as I was saying, Jewel." "My gracious!" Granny shouted, jumping to her feet. "What has that child got into now?" Daddy carried Mama in his arms, racing toward Granny. Mama's face was all puckered up. "Well, I was chasing the boy through the woods," whined Mama, "and I stepped on a splinter. Please don't get the needle, get that out. It'll hurt something awful. Please don't." I was thankful the girls were watching the boys play ball on the other side of the churchyard. "Better go," Granny said. "Nice to see you, Eula." She yanked the quilt off the grass. "But I wasn't through telling you what I heard from Miss Smith." The sky thundered. "Well, we'll have to do it another time," Granny said, folding the quilt. "Right now we need to get home and tend to Corina's splinter." People grabbed the covered dishes, blankets, and young children, but the thunder didn't seem to faze Miss Eula. She followed Granny toward the truck. "But I'm almost at the good parts." "Goodbye, Eula," Granny said. Mama and Granny got inside the pickup just as fat raindrops began to fall from the sky. I hopped into the back, holding the umbrella. As we drove away, I looked at the baseball field. Abby Lynn and the other girls picked up their blankets and rushed toward the church. But the boys kept playing ball. I heard Jesse Wade call out, "Strike!" I was feeling torn to two giant pieces. Part of me wished I was inside the church with Abby Lynn helping to dry off those golden curls, and part of me wished that I had stayed in that game and struck out Bobby Dean. So what do you guys think Tiger should have done? Should she have stayed in the baseball game and gotten wet with the boys out there? Or should she have gone inside with the girls? Maybe you've ever had some pressure from your friends to act a certain way or to be a certain way. Do you connect with Tiger at all in this scene? And another thing I wanted to remark about before we close up here is Mama. How many of you have a mom that cries when they get a splinter in their foot? Mama very much seems like a little 6-year-old girl. I can't really quite put my finger on what's going on with that. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and close up the chapter here and move on to chapter 3.